So we've seen leading, we've seen tracking, kerning. The next thing that we want to look at, following the order of items on the control panel, is baseline shift, which is this option right here. Now, baseline shift is the adjustment of a single character or maybe a few characters relative to the baseline of the other characters in the paragraph. Here are some use cases. So earlier on, when talking about superscript and subscript, I expressed a preference for OpenType superior or OpenType inferior if you have that option, if you're working with a pro font. But you may decide, having done that, that you want to shift this ordinal up from its baseline. And to do so, select it and come to baseline shift, and we can just tap the up arrow a few times. And I can do the equivalent for the OpenType inferior to move that down relative to the baseline. As an aside, let me just point out that the superscript and subscript position, if you are using just regular superscript and subscript, i.e. these options on the control panel, the position is controlled, and I press Command or Control K to get to preferences in advanced type with these options. And the problem here is that that preference sets the position of all the superscript or all the subscript in the document. You can't do it on a case-by-case basis unless you also come and manually adjust the position with baseline shift. Here are some other use cases. If you have a phone number surrounded, or the area code of a phone number surrounded by parentheses, sometimes it can look like those parentheses are not really surrounding the numbers in the way that they should do. And you can select the bracket and then shift it up. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut for that, which is Option, Shift, and the up arrow. And when I do that, I move in 2 points at a time. If I wanted to change how much I'm moving, it is this option right there. I'll do the equivalent for the right bracket. Now over here for the price, we can make the price look a little bit more inviting by applying OpenType superior to the currency symbol and then shifting that down, removing the period, selecting the last two figures and also applying OpenType superior and shifting that down the equivalent amount. And now getting back to a previous movie, what we need here is a bit of kerning between these numerals, Option or Alt, and the right arrow. I'll also hold it down the Command or Control key so that I can move in bigger increments while I'm doing that. Another use case for baseline shift, occasionally you may want to give a visual interpretation to a word. In this case, shifting up every other letter to give a sense of movement to the word. Or perhaps you have applied a drop cap as an opening paragraph treatment. And in certain instances, when you do this, depending on the character that is being dropped and the size that you're using it at, you may run into this problem, a character collision. And you can select that character and then just shift it up. Shift, Option or Alt, Shift, and the up arrow.